I just spent 20 minutes talking and I wasn't even recording. Anyways, topic of today: jealousy, growth, and security. Can I get a can I get an amen? Um, what I was saying, I was wondering. I was like, something's not right. Why does it look like it's not recording? Because it wasn't recording. Um, what was I saying? I was saying, let me start from scratch. I'm recording during the day because I've got dinner tonight with my friends here and Sam, and that's coming over. So I've got dinner tonight. I won't be able to record tonight. Um, and so I'm recording now. It feels good recording now. When summer comes around, hopefully I'm still doing this by summertime. I'm gonna have a microphone, and have a nice camera, and I'm gonna be sitting at the beach. Hopefully it's not too windy or too loud, but like I do want to have this at the beach. It'll be quite nice. Manifest. Watch me in 6 months' time. June, July, August, September, October, November. Yeah, 7 months' time. Watch me. As I was saying, jealousy is not a bad thing. Well, it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I wouldn't say it's a great thing or a good thing. It doesn't feel good to be jealous. It doesn't feel good to be insecure. It doesn't feel good to not have that, belief or faith in, your friends or your partner. Um, that causes that jealousy to, come about, or that insecurity to come about. I didn't think I was a jealous person. Or maybe I knew I was jealous, but I just gaslit myself into believing I wasn't a jealous person. But no, yeah, definitely a jealous person. Especially after my relationship ended, I became like, I'm 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 jealous, but I'm not. No, that's not true. I'm mental. I'm a bit insane, but I'm working on it, and that's what matters. I'm working on it without trying to hurt anyone. Um, and what was I saying? Yes. So, like, I used to think jealousy was like the be all end all. Like, why are you jealous? Stop being jealous. Blah 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 blah. Like, you got nothing to be jealous about. Like, blah blah blah. Whatever, whatever. And like, it's one thing to say it, but it's another thing to prove it, if that makes sense. Like, in my past relationship, I never gave a good reason for my ex girlfriend to not be jealous. But looking back, I never, I never did give her a reason not to be jealous or not to have, not have faith in me. Like I think jealousy comes from faith and belief in your relationship or your friendships or like all that kind of stuff. And so um, some of it might be in your head, sure, whatever. Like I'm not saying that like I make things up in my head and I get jealous all the time, but a lot of it comes from like you understand your relationship best and you understand how you feel and you understand that you know there are things that this person is doing or maybe that yourself are doing that is warranting this kind of jealousy or this kind of like insecurity from someone. And um, the best thing to do is to change your ways or to kind of um, I don't know, you just have to do things different. You just have to start to do things different. um, so yeah, that is jealousy, I think, in a nutshell. You can be jealous about a lot of stuff. I'm jealous about like millionaires or people who are in very good shape. I want to be rich and in good shape, manifesting. So I'm in okay shape. I'm terrible with money. Poor, bad with money. You know, but I'm hoping that changes, and I hope that I can get the willpower to kind of change my lifestyle, my habits, um, good or bad, for the better. So yeah, and that leads me into growth. That you know what? That was a good 5 minutes of jealousy. I'll do 5 minutes of growth and then 5 minutes of security. How's that sound? Growth. I think every day we grow, guys. Am I right? Tough crowd. Yeah, I think every day we grow. But I do think there are a lot of days where you kind of regress and go back to the way you were, and I think that is also a part of growth. I have a friend who like goes to the gym and like, you know, any day that they do skip gym or like they have a cheat day, he feels bad about himself, you know, like he beats himself up over it. But like, I don't know. I will die on this hill that being consistent also means you like fall out of it as well, as like counterintuitive and as that sounds. But like, the process to building a habit means tripping and stumbling along the way. Yeah, how's that sound? Oh my god, I feel like, you know what? 2 months ago, I was a fucking dumbass. Maybe a month ago, maybe even last week, maybe before I even started this recording, I was a dumbass. The second I start going and I'm listening to myself, I'm like, this guy knows what he's talking about. You know what I mean? But yeah, what was I saying? Yes. Yeah, a part of growth is kind of tripping and stumbling and falling and, you know, taking a step back, maybe even 2 steps back. But as long as you see where you're going and you keep walking there, you'll get there. I know, like, I feel like I keep talking about my past relationship. I gotta find something else to talk about. But um, I did not grow when, I think I spoke about this in the last video, but I did not grow in my last relationship. If anything, I like wilted like a flower. At, like by no means it was like my ex-girlfriend, but it was more like um, I hadn't grown up emotionally or mentally since, you know, I got into that relationship, which was like 3 years ago, and like I was like so dependent, like all like I was like a child up here. And like I wouldn't say I've actively been like, you know, maturing or like whatever, like after the breakup, but I definitely do think that um, the way I the way I am now is like complete 180 of the person I was before. Um, but like yeah, during the relationship, I was just like immature as a child. I like had my little tantrums. I had my little, you know, well, not even little, gigantic tantrums. I was a clown, you know. I was actually genuinely a clown during the relationship, and like it took leaving it to realize that um, could have had something good. But you know, it happens, and it hurts, and it doesn't feel nice for anyone, you know. Um, but that's also a part of growth. Part of growth is being hurt, and part of growth is, you know, healing from that hurt and moving on, and or at least trying to. Mm. And I think like you can do whatever you want, really. Like people handle things in different ways. I know like I know friends who will like just be knee deep in drugs and alcohol. I know friends who will be like just depressed and sad and hole up in their room. I know friends who are like who will just go out. They'll start like, you know, talking to all these random guys or girls, um, and then I know people who like just something clicks in them and they, I don't know, like they get their life more on track, if that makes sense. And then there's people who they just become fucking religious as hell and start posting about Jesus. Like, no hate, no hate. I'm not saying anything negative about it. I just, maybe you should have prayed to save your relationship. That's not a dig at anyone, I swear. Um, but what do you call that? I think like I'm gonna go over time. It's been 10 minutes, but I'm gonna keep going. Um, yeah, like every experience is a growth in some way, whether it's bad or it's good, or you know, it's just a normal day. I think every experience, every person you meet, every person you talk to, everything you hear and see is all experience, and you take a little bit of that along with you each time, and hopefully you try to take the best of these things and not the worst, because you don't want to be carrying a lot of dead weight with you. It's a long road ahead, guys. You don't want to be carrying a lot of dead weight. At least I'm not trying to, but I feel like I've got a big, big, giant bit of dead weight in my head. Um, and that's kind of like insecurity and jealousy and all that kind of stuff. Which leads me into my next segment, security. I don't know how to be secure with myself. I'll be honest. I'm an insecure person that projects it. I project fake security. But like, it's getting easier and easier. It's getting better and better to feel comfortable with myself and about myself and who I am and what I want to be and who I have been in the past. And it just takes time. I feel like everyone says, "Oh, it just takes time. Just takes time." Well, if everyone says it, it must be true. You know what I mean? Like, is the sky blue? Not now. Not now. It's grey, but you know what I mean. Um, but I think, yeah, I think I'm working on being more secure of myself. I learned that social media is a big place where like you compare yourself a lot, you lose security in yourself, and you just feel very insignificant compared to other people. I delete social media every like 2 days. If I feel like shit, I'm like, okay, get me the fuck off this. Get me off Instagram. Pull up that YouTube Shorts. Let me scroll on YouTube Shorts. I'm not seeing random people post. I'm not stalking anyone on YouTube Shorts. You know what I'm watching? I'm watching I'm watching a 500 part video of a 500 part movie on YouTube show. I'm watching The Sopranos. That's what I'm watching. Um, and yeah, I think I think kind of having that separation from you know comparison and trying to trying to realize that like a lot of the stuff isn't real. There's a lot of stuff that's not real. I know, ooh, I'm so smart, blah blah blah, but like genuinely, like what you see is not what's real, if that makes sense. You can't believe everything you see on social media. Um, but like, I don't think it's always a bad thing. Like sometimes I do see people on social media. Like I have a lot of like gym stuff on my that pops up on my explore page, and I'm like, fuck, like I want to get like that, and like that's good. That's good to get like that. But like a lot of these people are like, editing their photos or videos, or even like they're on drugs and they're on like that kind of stuff, and like oh my god, this thing is crooked and it's sending me it's not lining up. What do you call it? But yeah, I feel like I'm rambling, and I think I keep repeating the same thing over and over again. um yeah, what else did I have in this book? Actually, I wrote some other stuff. Let me see. That's work. uh what hurts and how to deal with it. I feel like I brought that up at the start. What depends what hurts. If it's grief's a tricky one. um I don't think I've felt grief in a long time. um that's a lie, actually. I felt grief very recently. I won't go into detail, but um I remember, hmm I don't know, actually. I don't know how to deal with grief. I know, like, I know feeling terrible about it and like all that kind of stuff, but like I actually have no idea. Is there a way to deal with grief? I don't think so. Besides crying, you cry and you cry and you cry until you can't cry anymore. Then you repeat it the next day. You keep crying, you keep crying, you keep crying. The day after, you cry and you cry some more. The day after, you cry, 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 but you cry just a little bit less than how much you cried the last 3 days. And then the fifth day, you cry and cry and cry a little bit less. And eventually, you come to terms with whatever you're grieving about. Eventually, you know, start to not cry as many tears. You'll find that one day you'll wake up and you'll be sad about it, but you won't cry, and then you'll have a heavy heart. Like you will always have a heavy heart about like whatever it is you're grieving about. And then you'll keep going about your day every day, just like finding distractions, finding people to talk to. Like I know when I was grieving about something, I spent every single day calling one person. I called one person and then another and just spoke to people for hours and hours each day. And when I wasn't speaking to anyone, I was on my phone, just doom scrolling, distracting myself. Then I'd sleep and then I'd wake up and I'd think about that thing again. And then I'd call someone and then and then one day I woke up and I didn't call anyone and I thought about it and it hurt still, but then I got up and I ate something, It was like something changed and I came to terms with whatever it was. Um, so yeah, I guess that's how you deal with that. But what else did I write here? I don't know how I got onto grief. Why did I talk about grief? I can't remember. It says, be honest, be transparent, say how you feel no matter who's listening. All right. I don't have any examples of things. Well, I kind of do, but um, I don't want to talk about it yet. Maybe in a future episode, you know. I do want to keep this one short, but I do love talking. I love a good yap. Um, yeah, yeah. My my ex-girlfriend's friend throwing digs at me for starting a self-help podcast stung a little bit when I found that out. Not because of the friend, but because my ex. And like that comes from insecurity. Like I'm of course I'm still afraid. Like not as much anymore for like people to not like me or not be happy with me or like whatever. But it's more like I still care. Like the people whose feelings I do care about, like the people whose opinions I do care about, maybe hurt a lot more. You know what I mean? Like it hurts twice as much. Um, But what I'm trying to do now is like, if I'm not feeling good about something, I will say it. I used to just ruminate and like just marinate with the feeling of like, should I say something? No, I don't wanna. I don't wanna say blah blah blah. Get it off your chest, buddy. Just say it. Like you do more harm to both yourself and whoever it is if you don't just say, hey, look, I'm upset about this. Hey, look, would you prefer not to say that? Like I know a lot of times people have said, hey, would you mind if I whatever. And I go, yeah, that's fine, whatever. Like, I don't care for most things. But I would never, like, I would make myself, I would not try to make myself more comfortable in the pursuit of maybe upsetting someone else. Does that make sense? Like, if, like, let's say there was, like, 6 chairs and I'm the seventh person, I'd just like, no, I'll stand, don't worry. Does that make sense? Like, I just, it's very people-pleasing call, I think. It's a very people pleasing call, but nah, now, bitch, get me a fucking chair. You should have planned, but get me a fucking chair. I will, you know what? I'll take your chair. You give me your chair, buddy, and you can stand outside. Don't even stand here with the rest of the chairs. Stand outside in the rain, in the storm, actually, in dog poo. Um, but yeah, yeah, um, yeah. I think, yeah, that's it. I don't have much to talk about today. I did watch Euphoria, and it brought me back to like when I was younger. When did I swear Euphoria came out when I was in high school or something like that. Like, it's been such a long time. But yeah, I was watching Euphoria and I was like, oh my god, like I remember Euphoria used to be all the rage when I was like younger. Oh, back in my day. Anyways, um, yeah. Yeah, that's it really. Euphoria, I haven't really watched anything else. I've watched The Boys in like 700 parts on YouTube Shorts. I've watched The Sopranos, probably every season on YouTube Shorts. Um, yeah, that's about it. I don't really play any. Oh, I've been playing chess again here and there, but I'm terrible at it. I just can't concentrate on it right now, and mm, I'm not really doing much with my life. I've been going gym. That's been going good. I've been meaning to, eat better, but I had Macca's and I had Hungry Jacks last night. Don't talk about it. But what do you call it? I need to. I've been going gym. I think I said that already. Today would be leg day. Ugh, not leg day, please. Anything but leg day. Um, I did I did chest and back yesterday, and then biceps, triceps, and shoulders the same day. Because when you're unemployed, that's how much free time you have. Fucking loser. Oh god. Um, but yeah, I will keep updated till tomorrow. I feel like these would be better if it was like 3 times a week, but I just love. I'm actually starting to look forward to like, recording these, which is weird. But I need to start like writing down what to talk about, what's happening, what's going to happen, plans, like whatever, then update on these things and, whatever. So maybe I'll do that. 22 minutes? That sounds like a good time to end the video. So yeah, see you later for now, I guess.